it could be the first in 30 years. A freight rail strike looming closer could begin as soon as Friday morning. About 60,000 workers are set to walk off the job if unions and management fail to come to an agreement in the next day and a half. The consequences from this could be, frankly, economically devastating. Gas prices, which have been drastically falling from their summer peak, could once again skyrocket if trains carrying fuel stop moving. Harvested crops could be prevented from reaching food factories, stopping staples from reaching grocery stores. Amtrak is already canceling almost all of its long-distance passenger trains starting tomorrow, as most of their routes run on freight tracks, disrupting travel across parts of the United States. And even your holiday shopping could be at risk. The National Retail Federation saying that the rail strike could prevent stores from stocking up on goods ahead of the holiday rush. We're going to start our coverage today with CNN's Pete Montine, who is tracking the down-to-the-wire negotiations between the unions and rail management companies, and the one detail that both sides cannot seem to agree upon.
It is the latest effort to put the brakes on a possible rail worker strike that could deal a major blow to the economy. Wednesday, bosses representing unions and railroads met with the labor secretary in a last-ditch effort to reach a deal by midnight Thursday. That's when 60,000 workers could walk off the job in solidarity with train engineers fighting for sick time. A strike will mean freight rail, which makes up 40% of all freight in the U.S., will grind to a halt, impacting everything from parts for cars to fertilizer for farming.
Transportation's a big part of the cost to the consumer, and I don't believe there's one person in the country that it won't affect.
Starting Thursday, some railroads will stop accepting shipments of grain, critical to feed livestock and potentially further driving up costs at supermarkets. Rail passengers will be impacted too. Amtrak is canceling all of its long-distance routes outside of the Northeast Corridor. In Chicago, 9 of 11 commuter lines will stop when a strike begins.
I've been commuting from the suburbs to Chicago now for over 30 years. I can never remember this happening. Could take 2 hours if I'm driving. On train, it's 40 minutes.
With midterm elections on the horizon, the pressure is on the Biden administration to reach a resolution. The president himself has called unions and employers, pushing them to resolve their differences. If a freight rail shutdown does happen, trucking companies say they cannot pick up the slack.
It starts with a very small impact, but it grows geometrically.
The impacts here far and wide, Jake. One more impact that water treatment facilities are warning they might not be able to get chlorine, critical to cleaning water. It is often sent by rail. The interesting byproduct here, Jake, there could be boil water advisories nationwide if there is a freight rail shutdown. Jake.
All right, Pete Montine, thanks so much. As Pete noted, railroad and union officials were summoned to Washington, D.C. today to meet with the Secretary of Labor, Marty Walsh. This comes as the Biden administration is working overtime to prevent a strike. Let's bring in CNN's MJ Lee, who covers the White House for us. MJ, this meeting's still ongoing after several hours of negotiations. What do we know about where things stand right now?
Yeah, Jake, while President Biden has been spending the day here at the Detroit Auto Show, we know that the White House has been very closely monitoring these ongoing talks, and these talks do appear to still be ongoing. We know that union and railroad officials have been meeting with Marty Walsh, the labor secretary, and that meeting has been ongoing for hours. And in the last hour or so, a White House official giving me an update that those talks are still happening in good faith. Now, the president himself in recent days has also gotten involved, directly picking up the phone and calling some of these parties to try to get them past this impasse. And the goal, of course, is to avert a strike, because White House officials know very well how economically damaging all of this could be. But that having been said, we are told by a White House official that they are still working on contingency plans, including figuring out other methods of potential transportation to get some of these goods moving, and also to try to figure out and isolate what kinds of commodities would be most severely hit. So they are planning for all possibilities, but very much still hoping that something will come to a deal.
MJ, I don't need to tell you this, but the railroads work under a unique labor law, which allows the federal government to intervene to prevent a strike. They can impose temporary regulations while continuing negotiations with the unions. Are you hearing any word that anyone in the government is considering this?
Yeah, you know, the short answer for now seems to be that Congress is not very interested in intervening. Just take a note of the fact that yesterday, Senator Dick Durbin told our colleague Ali Zazoff on Capitol Hill, he said, I don't think it's likely that we will intervene. What he basically said was that he thinks it is up to the different parties to get to the negotiating table and figure out a deal on their own. And also House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just today telling reporters, I'd rather see the negotiations prevail so that Congress doesn't have to act. So all indications right now, at least for the time being, is that there's little appetite on Capitol Hill for them to actually have to intervene. But again, these events are so fluid, these talks are still ongoing, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But just important to emphasize again, there's little appetite on Capitol Hill right now for lawmakers to get involved and intervene.
All right, MJ Lee, thanks so much. The U.S. rail strike could cost the country tens of millions of dollars every day. What is that going to mean for the U.S. economy? CNN's Rahel Solomon joins us now in studio. And Rahel, you just spoke with a top economic analyst who said he briefed Congress today on the potential impacts. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Mark Zandi from Moody's Analytics, who told me within the hour that this would massively complicate things for the Fed. Because think about where we're coming from, right? We just had that massive supply shock from the pandemic, which we are still sort of trying to get out from. We had the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has still sort of hampered supply chains. And this would be the third supply shock. So this would make the Fed's job, which is already difficult, much harder. In terms of us consumers, it would mean shortages of products, perhaps. Not in the near term necessarily, but as the weeks go on, that's what that would mean in the long term. It would mean perhaps higher inflation as supply is outstripped by demand. Mark Zandi put it to me this way. Look, if this goes on for 2 to 3 weeks or certainly longer, then it becomes a macroeconomic issue. Then I think it starts affecting activity in manufacturing and the agriculture sector and construction, transportation, distribution more broadly. It just becomes a real mess. And that mess and that potential impact is why you're hearing from so many stakeholders about the potential impact of this. So it could have an impact to us consumers in terms of shortages of goods, grocery stores. Think about also the automotive industry. It impacts not just the finished products, the cars, but their supplies, their goods, their parts, which they've already been dealing with the supply chain issue. Part of the reason cars are so expensive right now. So it just complicates what's already a pretty complicating and troubling situation.
All right, Rahel Solomon, thank you so much. Appreciate it.